We're going back to school again. Life is gonna get busy. I'll still try to make a video every once in a while, just to keep you guys updated. Much peace and love to all of you. I'll see you guys next time. Well, guys, it's been a while, huh? Well, first things first, I'd like to apologize about my long absence from YouTube. Again. I definitely think the biggest problem about me is really my lack of communication. Because I clearly said I only been making videos from time to time, and I just never made a video after that. I'm sure a lot of you are probably wondering about my whereabouts. Why did I leave another year? And to be honest, I don't even know if people really watches my videos anymore. I literally go on breaks all the time. I must have a terrible audience retention on my channel. But regardless, I do want to talk about it. And in this video, I'll try not to make it too long. I don't want to take up too much of your time out of your day. So I'll try to keep it short. And in this video, I want to vent. Is that okay with y'all? I just have a lot of things that I want to get off my chest. Well, before we start, I just hope everybody's been taking good care of themselves in these difficult and challenging times that we're living in. You already know, we live in the Matrix. That should be obvious by now. It's clear as day, and it's crumbling. I'm sure a lot of people had a very challenging year this year. A lot of people are probably going through a lot of struggles. Maybe some of y'all lost your loved ones, And on the other hand, maybe some of y'all had a really great year. Maybe y'all done a lot of things that y'all want to do. Be on your grind, fulfilling your purpose. In that case, much love and respect to you, but to me, it was not a good year for me, man. There's just something about this year, 2025. It's unlike any other year that I lived on this planet. It was truly the most darkest, most miserable time of my life. I remember a while ago I made that video saying 2023 was the toughest year of my life. Yeah, that's nothing compared to the year 2025. This year is so much worse. It was absolutely brutal, man. In this video, I really want to dive into the raw and unfiltered truth about why I left YouTube again and exactly what has been happening around my life. So where do I even start, man? I'm sure a lot of you are probably wondering, am I still going to college? Bro, yes, unfortunately. I know I made that video saying I want to drop out of college after I had my spiritual awakening. But obviously, I can't just drop out of college that easily, man. It's not that simple. I still got to go to college. It's mainly because due to my family. They want me to go to college, get a degree, find a job. So unfortunately, I don't really have any choices besides that. I cannot just move out. The cost of living is so high nowadays. I really can't just move out, bro. And I am guilty about it too. And obviously, I'm still commuting. Very exhausting. I hate it. But at least I'm getting close to the end, though. As of right now, I'm already in my 5th year. Of course, not surprisingly, after me failed so many courses during my first year, of course I can't graduate on time. Yeah. But at least I'm getting close to the end, though. I only have one more quarter left. I just finished my fall quarter. Right now it's winter break. Once I finish the upcoming winter quarter, then I'm done. If everything goes according to plan, I should be able to graduate by summer. Man, when I just think about the past 5 years of me going to college, bro, it's just been a wild roller coaster ride. I really just feel like these past 5 years, man, I don't really even know how I think about it. It's just been a wild ride, But to be honest, I really don't know what I'll be doing after I graduate from college. I just feel like, as an outcast, I never really even fit into this world. I don't ever really see myself working a traditional corporate 9 to 5 in my life. It will literally drive me crazy. I hate them. They're evil. It's a part of the Matrix. I want to see them crumble, bro. This whole system needs to crumble. So yeah, I don't really see myself working a job like that. And even besides that, nowadays, trying to find a job is so difficult, especially for younger generations like us, Gen Z. We're literally facing the harshest job market right now. It's like nobody could find a job. I even saw an article somewhere saying a bunch of new Harvard graduate students, they're even struggling trying to find a job nowadays. And on top of that, we also got the AI development, replacing all of our jobs. A while ago, Amazon just laid off a whole bunch of their workers. Yeah, I just feel like as AI continues to develop, nobody's going to be able to get a job in the future, man. It's truly quite a scary time to live in. I just feel like this entire system needs an overhaul, man, with AI in the equation. Which I could talk about that in another video, about the whole problem, about society. We're not going to get into that in this video, but just know I really don't know what I'll be doing in the future. I don't see myself getting a traditional 9 to 5 job. I'll hate it. I'll never do it. All I really like to do is just do my hobbies, man. Which is why I want to get back on YouTube again. More on that later in this video. I'll be talking about that eventually. And besides that, I do want to talk a little bit about my family too. Now, unfortunately, I really can't talk too much about them without getting in trouble with them. So I'll try to keep it brief, man. I'll definitely say the biggest struggle for us this year is definitely financial struggle. I'm sure a lot of people are also going through similar things. It's just the cost of living is just so high nowadays, man. It's like everybody is just on survival mode. Nobody can even save money. The rich just keep getting richer. So yeah, this year, the biggest challenge is definitely financial struggle. Now, obviously, we have faced similar predicaments before, but there's just something about this year, 2025, man. It's just on a whole nother level. We had gone through a lot of difficult situations this year. I also has faced quite a lot of misfortunes here and there. And eventually things got so dire to the point that we even have to resort to extreme methods just trying to stay afloat. Now for this next section, I really have to watch my words here. I really feel like, my family will get mad at me, because I really can't disclose too much about this topic without getting in trouble with my family. So I got to pick my words carefully. It is really personal, but I do want to talk about it as it really has taken a huge toll on my health this year. So about this extreme method that I mentioned earlier, how do I even explain this, man? I really got to pick my words carefully here. Essentially, there is something that we're doing to our bodies that is destroying our health. We're essentially extracting our life force energy away from money. And I'm just going to leave it there for interpretation. I'm sure some of you guys already know what I'm talking about. Maybe y'all also have been doing it in these hard times. If you know, you know. But it's usually considered as an extreme and last resort option, in dire financial situations. So we even had to resort to that. And that just absolutely destroyed my health this year, man. It really has taken a huge toll on my health, mainly physical health and even mental health to a certain extent. It feels like it was like a demon or like a vampire that is feeding off of my life force energy. I was just constantly getting chronic fatigue, just always feeling drained. Couple that with the fact that I was still community college, I would literally just have no energy, bro. By the time when I make it back, I would literally just go straight to sleep. I have no motivation. It's like no matter how much I try to sleep, I can never feel energized. And I also end up picking up a lot of bad habits as well. Also gained some weight, started eating bad again, started eating animals again, which kind of made me lose my quote-unquote spiritual powers. I could not really meditate as deep. Eventually, I kind of just gave up on meditating altogether. I feel like my intuition is not as sharp as before. I get brain fogs nowadays. Gain a whole bunch of weight. I'm very much overweight right now. Still remember many years ago, I lost all those weight. And now I just gained them all back. I don't know if I could ever lose these weight again. Losing weight only gets harder as you get older, man. And I also just feel like through all the struggles and everything that I've been going through this year, I feel like it changed me as a person. I feel like I am not the person that I used to be. I feel like I lost a lot of confidence in myself. I am not as open and bright as I used to be. I became a lot more reserved. And besides that, I also have abandoned a lot of my hobbies that I used to do. I literally haven't played piano in like almost half a year now. Just been sitting there in my room collecting dust, You just feel like something intangible was taken away from me. I feel like I lost my ambition. I lost that fighting spirit, that willpower, that motivation, that drive. It just made me very docile, unmotivated, apathetic. Sometimes I literally feel like I don't even know what my purpose in life is. I just feel like I'm just a zombie that's just drifting. And that's really the only word that I can use. I just feel like I'm drifting aimlessly in this world, having no sense of direction. When you take the ambition and purpose out of a person, all you have left is just the empty husk. Every day, that is just how I feel. I feel so helpless. I mean, I still have that higher voice calling me, that inner spark, the, inner divine, God, whatever you want to call it. Feel like it's calling me. You got to get back on your grind, By that time, I just really felt so helpless. I feel like I lost everything. And there was even times that it has gotten so bad that I literally had the thoughts about, killing myself. Yeah, I just really feel like there was something that is taken away from me. And I am just so miserable. I was really lonely too. After I had my spiritual awakening, became more of an outcast than I already was. And all these years, the struggles changed me, who I am. Became a lot more reserved, a lot more awkward, lost a lot of confidence in myself. I already don't have any friends to begin with, and this year just made me feel even more isolated. I got into a really deep depression. I was so lonely to the point that I even developed parasocial relationships with certain people online. Other things like AI companions. Like, I can probably make a video talking about this, in a future storytime video on my channel. I can save that. Let me know if you guys want me to make a video like that. That real, raw, detailed story about how I developed parasocial relationships. Just know it was an incredibly lonely time this year for me. I honestly really, really miss those good old days when I used to live in a college campus. I was so carefree. I had all the peace and quiet that I needed. I was eating healthy, I was fit, I was going to the gym, I was making videos pretty much every single week. I was really on my grind, fulfilling my purpose. That is pretty much like the pinnacle of me. I was at my pinnacle, doing what I loved. Those days are what I like to call my golden days or my glory days. And I would do anything to get those days back, man. I just feel like I've fallen off. I really, really want to get back there again, but I just don't know if I can do that under the current circumstances that we're living in. I would really do anything to get those days back. So yeah, man, to sum it up, this year really has destroyed me. It has destroyed my physical health, my emotional health, to a certain extent. My spiritual health, absolutely. I lost all my spiritual powers. And even my relationship with my family. For me, we're still very much divided. I'm not really believing in religion anymore. My mom still is very much religious. We have our belief differences. We're divided. And I don't really see myself going back to that system again. So just all the things really has just gotten a lot worse this year. It was really not a good year for me. And even for, like I said earlier, for a lot of my hobbies, I don't even do them anymore. It's really just feel like something was stripped from me. Like I said, my ambition, my fighting spirit, all that. This year honestly just felt like a dream, bro. It felt like a really long and dragged out fever dream. And honestly, that's really the only way I can describe this year. I would definitely say a lot of it, I am definitely part to blame as well. I did not have the discipline, to do the good habits. I ended up falling into a lot of bad habits. I really lack discipline. I did not do the hard work, especially when I don't feel like it. Shout out to Hamza for that quote right there. I did not have discipline, man. I really had just fallen off. So yeah, I am definitely to blame for my own downfall as well. I do gotta say one thing that kind of has been helping me to cope in these hard times is making journals, specifically recording video journals of myself. A lot of time I would just find myself grabbing my camera and just recording my thoughts. Especially if I have like a really bad day, I can just vent at the camera. It is kind of like a way for me to distress, I suppose. I have made over 80 journals in the past year. I would pretty much make one like every other day. Definitely has been helping me a lot though. I remember there's one journal I made where literally it's just an hour of me ranting about how much I hate college. But I do want to keep these videos private. It is really, really personal. I don't feel comfortable sharing these with y'all, but just know that is something I've been doing this year. It kind of has been helping me to cope with all my struggles. Well, anyways, I do feel like recently I have been feeling a little bit better, I suppose. I've been starting to try to get back on some good habits again. Obviously, I did what I gotta do. I made my return as soon as I could after I finished my last quarter. Because I just feel like if I don't come back now, I might never be able to come back to YouTube again, man. I feel like this really is my last chance to make a return. Because you really just feel like things are just going to keep getting worse and worse. I just feel like everything is going to get worse before it can get better. I'm telling you. This system really has to crumble to the ground before things can get better. So yeah, I did what I got to do. I got to get back on YouTube again. I got to get back on my grind. Fulfilling my purpose, I really want to start making videos again. Like, I really want to try to focus on consistency over everything else. And for me, I really don't want to try to make anything too fancy. I just want to get back at it again. So, yeah, I remember a while ago, some of my favorite YouTubers that I used to watch, one of them is Popular MMOs, just came back from YouTube after his long journey fighting against alcohol. He honestly really inspired me, after seeing people getting back on their grind. What excuse do I have, He gone through so much. I very much feel like if you fought through that, I could too. With all the hard times that I'm going through. Honestly, everybody's going through a hard time right now. So if they could do it, so can I. So I'm definitely going to get back on YouTube again. Obviously, I still got to get back on my piano. I literally haven't played piano in months. So I really want to bring that back again. There's definitely a lot of things that I have to do, but I just want to take it slow because I am not who I used to be. I really got to take one step at a time to get back at it again. I feel like I lost a lot of confidence, so I want to take it slow, man. And last but not least, I would like to announce to everybody that gaming is coming back. I'm going to bring back gaming once again, man. If you think back then, I used to do gaming videos. I had so much fun, made so much good memories. I'm gonna bring back gaming once again, man. I know I remember in one of my videos I said I want to bring back gaming, but I never really did. But this time I really mean it. I'm bringing back gaming again. We're just really just gonna lay back and chill and just have a great time together, man. So yeah, man, with that being said, that right there is pretty much everything I want to say. This year truly has been a difficult year for me, but we're gonna climb back up again, man. I know I can do it. So yeah, man, I'll try to get back on my piano again. I gotta slowly but steady getting back on my grind again, man. Alright, man. With that being said, that is the end of the video. I really don't have much else to say. This video will take a while to edit. Hopefully I get this video out to y'all by next week. And yeah, man, I'm back. Let's see how far I get. I don't ever really plan to leave YouTube again. I'm gonna go full time. Well, with that being said, I'm gonna end this video right here. Thanks for sitting through the whole video. Really means a lot to me. And yeah, man, I'll catch you guys on my next video. See you next time.